So you've come almost to the end of this masterclass, and I want to leave you with some very practical tips regarding each of the components and how you can save on cost. Let's talk about cutting your editing and proofing cost. One of the things that I find helpful is that I get my endorsers to give me feedback, and I find someone to do the forward, and I get feedback from that person, and I get a team of beta readers who will review my documents, and sometimes I get my ideal readers to review and give me feedback because I've identified the message of the book, the audience for the book, the problem I'm solving, the pain points, and I use sometimes speech techniques by giving my introduction, having my stories, my examples, my statistics to back up my points. And with nonfiction, it's really about the structure. So once the structure is in place, it is properly outlined and the content is flowing logically and you are meeting the objectives, it is not as difficult to edit as it would be for a fiction or a novel per se. So I find that it is easier in terms of within your budget. You can try to spend even $250, half of that budget, on editing, because you don't want to shirk on editing. Like I said, if the book is small, between 10 and 30,000 words, you can reduce your editing cost. And there are apps that can help you. For example, there is Pro Writing Aid and Grammarly. Let's talk about cover design and how you can cut down on costs there. You don't have to be like me and spend $1,000 that you didn't have to get a good cover design. You can get a pre-made cover, and you can get pre-made covers from $50 onwards, and even on Fiverr you can get cover designs for less. But here's what you're going to do to ensure quality. You are going to go to Amazon and look at the best-selling covers in your niche, in your category, and you're going to look at how they are designed, because every category has a different look. The cover for a memoir is different from the cover for a self-help book. And so you want to look at those covers and you want to pattern them. You can get free images that are royalty free on sites like Pixabay, Unsplash, and other sites, and that can save you. So the clearer you are in terms of your design, the color, the book size, it will help your graphic artists better, especially if you can give them examples. In terms of the ISBN, you may choose to take a free ISBN. In countries like Canada, the ISBNs are free. In my region in the Caribbean, it is not that expensive, and it shouldn't cost more than $50 or $40. So you can see how the budget is adding up. Then as it relates to formatting, what you can do is you can learn to format your ebook, your Kindle book using Microsoft Word. You can even format your print book using Microsoft Word. It can take a little while, but at least learn to format your ebook. It is simple once you know how to use your heading 1s and your heading 2. And there are lots of videos on YouTube that can help you. And there are free ebook management tools like Calibre that you can use, and Amazon accepts Word documents. If you have pictures and things like that, I would say learn to use Calibre, and there are videos on YouTube for free that you can use. There's also Derek Murphy, his Creative Indie site teaches you how to format your book using Microsoft Word. And then there are sites like Book Designers that sell templates that you can use, and you will be able to cut down on those costs. So I trust that you would find these tips very helpful in terms of pricing. As I said, you can keep the cost down because you could get somebody to on Fiverr to do the print and ebook for $50, $60. You could get a cover design for less than $100, a pre-made cover design. So we're looking at, that is what, $200. And you could get someone to do the editing, the copy editing. You don't have to spend more than $200 on that. Remember, we're talking about a small book, 10 to 30,000 word book. And sometimes you can get it for free. You can get freebies from friends who can assist you. And if you have a beta reading group, that will help. As long as I said before, with nonfiction, structure your book properly and you should be good to go. Devotionals are easy. If it's a devotional you're doing, if it's an inspirational book, that is not so difficult as long as, again, you work out the structure. The memoir sometimes can be a little bit more difficult to edit, but again, if you have to spend the bulk of your money, spend the bulk of your money on editing. You could get an experienced author to read through your manuscript and to give you tips, and that would go a long way. You can join self-publishing groups. I would recommend, for example, the Self-Publishing Formula by Mark Dawson, and they provide excellent reviews. These are indie authors who are making seven figures and are doing very well. I go in there from time to time and I get my covers tested, and sometimes you can even get your book description tested in the group, and they will give you feedback. If you don't know about the publishing process, if you're new to it, they will give you feedback on all aspects of the process, and that is free. And so that is kind of like getting free guidance, free mentoring. And so I know that you can do it. You don't have to break the bank. And if you're just starting out, like I said, start out small, use these tips, and I know you will get your book done. Thank you for doing this course. We're almost at the end.